Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Tracy Reeder, who will fight on Xtreme Fight Night 407, February 20th. Hello, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
And in just a few days, you will fight against, I think that another really good fighter. And I think that you have the experience in fighting against really talented prospects. So if you can tell me, what do you think about him as the opponent, and what did anything different for this training camp?
Yeah, I think he's the best opponent that I could have gotten myself in this area, that I haven't fought already, right? And experience too, I've got a lot of experience, so, I got to find a guy that's got a lot of fights. So I think that he's a perfect opponent, um, for me. I think he's a good fighter. Nothing bad to say about him, really. Uh, and this camp, I mean, yeah, there's specifics for every opponent, but we're training all the time, always for anything, every time. So, and I was supposed to fight him like 2 or 3 years ago or something. And this is kind of a guy I always knew I would fight. So it's nice to finally get it out of the way.
Yes, and in the end, Marshall is like 8-1 right now. He's got like four fights winning streak, and you are on the three fights winning streak. So I think that it's like the winner of this fight can, who knows, maybe will be like in a contention to fight in the contender series later this year.
Yeah, I think the winner of this fight probably gets in this year, and I think the loser of this fight might just have to wait till next year. So uh, I don't plan on waiting around too much though. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I love whenever I get a fight like this that it's just easier to be motivated.
And in this promotion, I believe that you are undefeated. You are like 7-0.
Something like that. But I mean, between you and me, who the fuck really gives a shit? Because anytime we get in the cage, it's 0-0 every time. You know what I mean? So it's a new day. This Friday, next Friday, whatever it is, that's a new day.
And at one point you were on the free fights losing streak, and then you get back to winning column. And at that point when you lost a few fights, where there was any like hesitation about like direction that your career is heading?
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, if you go back and watch the fights, I don't really think I lost three fights. So, I mean, they put it on your record and then that's kind of shitty and it kind of like, stains your name a little bit, but I mean, and I'm not even saying I fought the best I could in those fights, but like when I watch me fight Hector, I watch me fight Nico, I'm not sitting there like I lost. I don't feel like I lost. I'm sitting there okay. I don't mean, I don't feel like I got my ass kicked. So, and then the fight I got TKO'd in, I mean, watch the fight. You know what I mean? Like my skill set is better than everybody I've ever fought. I feel like I feel like I've really only lost two fights in my whole career. And then questions about like when you're losing or you're not fight really when you're not performing your best, you start having questions. Um, how do I just need to dial in my performance, right? So I would never question myself really.
But I think that in the end, it's important because sometimes even like really good fighters are undefeated for a while. Then they lost their first fight, and it's actually a little bit like end of their career because they are like more of the like on the losing side than on the winning side. And in the end, I think that you showed that the losses are like nothing for you, and you get back to like winning the fights. You won also like kickboxing fights. So I think that this is also important, like even in like in life, how you deal with this kind of situations.
Well, and too, I don't know if how much I've even posted about this on Instagram or whatever. I think that's how we connect. But right after my third loss, I got rhabdomyolysis. Do you know what that is?
No, not really.
This is what I'm saying, bros. It's this shit you get from overtraining, and it fucks your kidneys up, and it fucks your liver up. I mean, I don't know. You have to WebMD it later or whatever the fuck. But I was in the hospital for 4 days, and I couldn't train for a minute, and that's really the only reason I had a hiatus. Otherwise I'd have probably 3 or 4 more fights on my record.
But actually, last year you were super busy because you have like a kickboxing fight, free MMA fights, and for this year, of course, we don't know what's gonna happen in this fight. But in the like perfect scenario in your head, would you be like to be back in the cage quite soon?
Yeah, I think I would like to fight again in April or May. Probably something like that.
And the kickboxing fight that you had last year, how did you like it? And would you be like interested in taking more of the like pure striking fights?
Yeah, so that was really just kind of like my first comeback fight from having like rhabdo, and and I didn't have to cut a lot of weight, which is like better for my organs or whatever the fuck. I'm all good now, by the way. Everything's good. But I was still under contract with Fury for MMA, and they were trying to get me to take some more fights that probably weren't, to me, smart for a comeback after being sick like that. And they didn't really give a fuck or even care to ask or know or whatever, which is fine. Nothing bad against those guys, but I was just like, yeah, but I wanted to do something. I needed a better comeback fight, and I could kickbox. So that's really how that came about. I prefer MMA, but I would do like probably, never say never to anything, but my focus is always on MMA. I like being in a real fight, so everything else, not that nothing against, the kickboxing guys, whatever the fuck, but it just wasn't as fun for me. I didn't feel as alive.
And we are like a few days away from your fight. And for now, how your like weight cutting is going? Do you ever have you ever had any like problems with weight cut, or is it like no problem for you?
I've had a lot of problems with weight and these motherfuckers that I fight missing weight or wanting to fight at higher weight classes. This one's at 160. I don't really mind that. But like my fight back in August, the day before weigh-in, the opponent wanted to bump it 10 pounds, and we did it and we won and we fought him. But it's never been an issue for me. I've had one bad weight cut in my career that was really just negligence and stupidity on my part. Whenever I fought Marco Maderos, no, nothing, take nothing away from him. He's a fucking stud, but that was a lesson I learned once, and now I always take care of business. Weight's easy to make whenever I'm on my shit, and I'm always on my shit because I'm a professional. This is just what this is all I do. You know what I mean? I don't do anything else. Like name something else, I don't do it. So
And it's probably really hard when you are like 1 day away from the fight and the fighter is much heavier, and in the end he like forced you a little bit to fight because I believe that when you are not fighting, you are not getting any money.
yeah, yeah, exactly. This is what I do. I sold a fuckload of tickets, like, you know what I mean? Like sponsors, everything's already done. Like he's got me by the balls. I gotta fight him.
But I think that also there is some chance that his cardio, like maybe second, maybe third round, would not be the best. And this is like the chance to, in some ways, punish him for not making a weight.
Right? Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what ended up happening.
And when we last spoke, I believe you said that you train in a few gyms, right? That you like cross train in few facilities.
Yeah, yeah. It's changed since then. I'm at Carson Fighting Fitness, Scrap Pack 918. It's the same spot, and then Forza Combat Sports, I go out there too. So yeah. Yeah, we got some good shit cooking up here, I think.
And do you have like the fighters like you who are like on the really high level with the potential of going to the UFC, or like super young prospects that you think that they can be like really successful in even near future?
Well, you know my boy Ryan Hoover. You know he's out right now. He's out right now, but he's always involved. You know Tater. There's you know I don't even want to start naming names because there's a ton of guys I train with. If I forget somebody, you know, but there's a really lot of good guys at the Scrap Pack and at Forza. I mean, tons of good guys. You know, really, there's not a look in this area that we don't have. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel anyway. So.
And I believe that Tater will also fight on this card.
Yeah, he's fighting a 4 ounce Muay Thai fight. Yeah, we got some other amateurs and shit. So it's gonna be a good night for the team. You know, capped off by yours truly.
And because when we spoke last time, like a lot of things happen in MMA, but did you have maybe like a fighter who surprised you in the last few years that you maybe didn't consider him that he can be as big a star of that he's
Like on the like
oh
guys
yes
that
on the
the,
UFC.
oh fuck. I mean, dude, I don't even know. Fuck. You know, I knew Ilya was gonna be the shit whenever he beat Ryan Hall. Like back in the day, I watched that fight. I was like, yeah, that fucker's good, bro. And just really no hesitation or fear to just like to engage with or did I say Uriah? Who did I just say? Uriah Hall? No, Ryan Hall. You know Ryan Hall, not I
Yes,
think
yes,
I said
yes.
I think I said Uriah Hall. I watched fucking Karate Combat last night or whatever. But yeah, like I knew that that dude was gonna be good. I mean, I don't know, shit. I feel like the sport's pretty easy to follow. You see everybody kind of sees who's hot and what's going on and who's getting built and shit.
Yes, and definitely like Ilya before Alex Volkanovski fight, he was like super confident. He even like put on IG that he was like 15 and 0 world champion, and in the end he did it. So it's kind of crazy.
Right.
And outside of the sport, let's say that in a week you will be after the fight. How do you plan to like relax a little bit from the sport? Do you have this like need to just to be focused few at least few days on something else?
You know, it's hard. It's really hard because, you know, when you even like my last year, after every fight I won, it wasn't like I ever got to like be like, whew, okay, I'm fucking good now. You know, like everybody's immediately talking about what's next. Everybody's already talking about the next guy that would kick your ass, beat you the fuck up. And, you know, as much as you try to like take a week or decompress or do whatever, me and my girl are gonna go on vacation or whatever, or just fucking whatever it is, sit around, smoke pot, and hang out with my cats. Uh, there's always in the back of your mind, like, yeah, but the next one, you know, even your own brain can't help but work like that. So, you know, and I just told you I wanted to have a quick turnaround. So, you know, I'll take, you know, some time where it's not as serious, you know, because I train very hard. So, you know, I need it, but you know, mentally, it's just hard. It's hard to be anywhere else when you know what your future holds.
And about the cats, I believe that you are like a cat person, right? Because you put a lot of like stories on IG.
Yeah, bro, I got four of them in there. They're pissed off. They're probably dying. They want their dad in there. Yeah, they're my little guys, bro. I love those little fuckers. Shout out Ralphie, Darnell, Mittens, and Milo.
So it can be a little bit like overall like animals, a little bit like relaxing things because it can calm you down a little bit, probably.
Bro, you can look this shit up. Like hanging out with your cats and petting them or whatever is supposedly like oh, what's the word? Like de-stresses your central nervous system or what the fuck. I'm not a doctor, but there's some doctor said something about it somewhere where I fucking read it and was like, "Hey, that sounds pretty good. It's supposedly good for you."
Yes, yes, I think that it's like even from the like logical perspective, it's definitely a true. And after your fight, after your let's say tough training session, do you have any like do you use any like methods of recovery to just to be better like next day in the gym?
Yeah, I mean there's always, every and it's different depending on what my issues are, like what we've got a guy at the gym too who's a chiropractor and athletic trainer, shout out Zach Blanton. He, when shit gets real bad, he fixes me up. But I find most of the time it's really just like sleep. Like I nap and shit between trainings. Like I just like to sleep, and that always got me feeling pretty good, and just staying hydrated, like normal shit. I mean, whatever the last guy said, I'm doing what he's doing, and whatever the next guy says, I'm probably doing whatever he's doing. Like or some derivative of or whatever the fuck. You know.
Yes, and probably like the sleep is the most important thing, because if you are not well slept, it's like it's like every part of your life. It's like harming.
You're fucked if you're not sleeping.
Yes, yes, that's right, that's right. And I have one question outside of the like world of MMA. Do you have like things think like the bucket list, so the list of the things that you would like to do in like in your life? So maybe traveling somewhere, maybe learn some kind of crazy skill.
Yeah, about a year ago, maybe it wasn't even a year ago. It was probably like 6 months ago. One of the things on my bucket list was to get proficient in nunchucks. But I already did that, so now I'm just like, fuck. I don't even have anything else outside of fighting. I'm just thinking about fighting. I guess I already did it. I
I
whooped
think
somebody's ass with some nunchucks.
I think that Nick Diaz also like was quite good at it.
Yeah, he was better than I. Well, I got to get a better pair, I think, because like I have a wooden pair, but I think a metal pair will spin better, and then I'll get like on his level because when he's spinning them, it's like that shit is crazy, But yeah, it was just kind of fun, Other than that, travel and stuff. I've been to all these places for fighting and wrestling growing up, but I ain't. I've been to Philadelphia, but I ain't seen Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I've been to all, wherever the fuck. I've been to California to train and shit, but I seen the gym and I seen the fight venue where I was cornering. Like So it's really like I said, it's hard to think about anything else when you just know. Like it's like you remember being in school and you would I don't know if you ever experienced this, but you very early on in the day you have some beef with a kid like right before school, and like you're shoving and shit, and y'all are telling each other like you're gonna whoop each other's ass or whatever, and you're like, you know what, after school we're gonna settle this. And then all day you're at school and the teacher's talking about math and you couldn't give a fuck less about the math. They're talking about history. You just all you're thinking about is your fight that you've got coming up at the end of the day. And that's very much what life is like, not on like some like paranoia shit, just like, I'm gonna be ready. I'm getting ready always for what I know is coming.
Okay, Tracy. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I think that it's like a super interesting fight. You are on the, I think that really good moment of his career, of your career. Your opponent is on the good winning streak. So I think that it will be a really exciting fight, and I hope that your like career will go in the good direction in like next few years.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. You know what's crazy is I've got almost double the pro fights as this guy. I think I'm 2 years younger than him. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, I think, yeah, just the activity, for me and experience and everything I talked about and shit. I'm super excited for this one. I think my career is gonna, I think we're on our way. You know what I'm saying? Regardless.
Yes, and
Lots more fights. I'm gonna be fighting. Like I said, I'm only 26. I'm gonna be fighting, forever. So we got a lot more fights to be had.
yes, and it's nothing like experience, no substitute for it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so thank you.
I appreciate you, brother.